Alright, what's going on, guys? Try back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead video for today, leading up to the finale for The Walking Dead Season 8. In this one first, we're going to give our thoughts on Scott Gimple's recent comments about The Walking Dead's falling ratings. And spoiler warning as per usual if you are not caught up for The Walking Dead, which is up to the second last episode for The Walking Dead Season 8. So I wanted to go ahead and give my thoughts on this one today. I wanted to, continue producing the videos for you guys daily. Leading up to the finale here, I'll try to have a new video for you guys every day until Sunday. Because, of course, it is the huge finale for The Walking Dead. It's finally the end for All Out War. It's the end for this season. And, man, it's been a pretty crazy ride. So with this one today, I thought it'd be a good idea. Even though, we've talked about ratings a lot in the past before. We've done videos like Top 7 Reasons for the Decline of The Walking Dead, where we go into a lot of detail and we count down. We've just done lots of videos discussing the ratings and kind of where they're at, where they've been at, how the death of Carl affected them, and just overall where the series' popularity is this season as they're getting ready to wrap up Season 8 here. So, link will be in the description to digitalspy.com, so you guys can go ahead and check this one out. It says The Walking Dead boss responds to the show's falling ratings. And I should say, kind of the way I look at Scott Gimple now, I basically look at him as the same way as I look at Robert Kirkman for the comics. So I look at him as sort of like Robert Kirkman, is the lead guy for the comics, obviously, creator, everything like that. With the TV series version, I pretty much look at Scott Gimple as the equivalent to Robert Kirkman for the TV series universe at this point. So even if he's not show running in season 9, I still look at him as like the overall kind of creative number one person with regards to the Walking Dead TV universe, including Fear the Walking Dead now as well. So him responding. So Digital Spy ratings. Okay, so pretty much what it says is ratings across television have gone down. Quote. So that's pretty much what he said. Now there's some more to it, so we'll go through it, and then we'll kind of give our thoughts on that, and we'll also kind of take a look at the recent ratings for the last few episodes, because I haven't done this for a while. We haven't kind of looked at it recently, but going into the finale, I'm sure the finale will do better because, of course, it's a finale and it's been built up for a long time, so people are definitely going to want to tune in to check it out. And I think it should get at least, I'll do a prediction, probably at least 8 million, or at least 7.5, something like that. It says people are watching The Walking Dead in a variety of ways now, but it is exciting that it is still at the top of live television and that people are sharing a live experience, Gimple told TheWrap, adding, quote-unquote, ratings across television have gone down since the show started in 2010. If The Walking Dead was a person and just sort of like zapped into 2018, they wouldn't recognize the world anymore. So it's absolutely fair play to bring up the ratings, have gone down on The Walking Dead, but it is a little silly not to bring up the entirety of television, he expanded. I like hearing about high TV ratings of any TV show nowadays just because I like the idea of people watching it together and of people having an experience together. And I want to continue to work on ways to tell stories that encourages people to watch it all on the same night. Which is cool, and I'm sure he's kind of thinking about Fear the Walking Dead when he mentions that, because, of course, on Sunday this weekend, if you guys forget or whatever, Walking Dead is going to be on, then Fear will be on right afterwards, which is really smart. It's very, very smart. Probably the best thing they've ever done for Fear the Walking Dead since the series started to really help get people glued to that show and have them get into a rhythm of watching it each Sunday after The Walking Dead ends. So really smart stuff as far as that goes. So our thoughts on that. So let's take a look at the ratings themselves. So pretty much the lowest episode they've had this season was episode 14. Still Gotta Mean Something. So that wasn't this weekend. That was the weekend before. So like Sunday before this last Sunday. The second last episode, Worth, did a 6.67 US. So it was a bit higher than what that was at. But basically, since the mid-season premiere, it's pretty much gone down every episode except for episode 15. So this weekend, which had a little bit a little bit of a boost, or pretty much. I mean, a little bit of back and forth here actually, but yeah, it's pretty much gone down. So 6.3, episode 14 is the lowest rated they've had for U.S. viewers since like season 2 or something like that. You can look back through the the chart yourself if you want to see, but yeah, it's really low compared to the rest of the series. So happy to see Worth is a little bit higher than what Still Gotta Mean Something was. I think it kind of means that Still Gotta Mean Something was a really good episode, and people wanted to come back to see Worth here and to see the finale for the season, which I'm sure they will. So I'm sure they'll get somewhat of a boost in the finale here. So is it fair to say that the most, or the driving factor in the fall of The Walking Dead's ratings is the overall kind of trend for all of TV? I mean, it's I think it's fair to mention that, it kind of goes without saying. It's like, yes, of course that's true that people are watching it different ways than they used to. It's not a false statement. It is true, but I don't think at the same time it can entirely explain the rapid decrease for Walking Dead, starting from season 7, episode 2, right on through pretty much until now, where it was consistently trending in seasons like 5 and 6 and the beginning of 7 in the teens, U.S. viewers, to where literally at this point 6.3 million compared to the season 7 premiere was like 17, and then the episode after that in all of season 6 was like in the teens, close to 15 or 11 or 12 or 13, depending on which episode you look at. So literally you're looking at a drop of over half of people are watching it live, so less than half are watching it live than would watch a regular episode. And it's almost down to a third the amount of people, because 6 times 3, 18. So you're looking at almost a third of the people are watching it now that watched the season 7 premiere. So for me personally, and for the future of the series, really what I think is going to happen with The Walking Dead, and this is just predictions now, speculation in my opinion, really is all there is to it. I believe personally The Walking Dead may have some ups and downs as it's going through. I don't think it should get a lot lower than kind of where it's at right now, like 6, 5, 4. But I do think eventually in a couple years you could see that thing come down to maybe about a 4 or 4.5 million, viewers. Like, it would consistently kind of taper off and taper down, as the seasons go on through. And there is an article from Forbes, but it's from one of the guys from Forbes I like, Paul Tassi, and I'll put the link in the description so you guys can check it out as well. And the tagline, or the headline for it is, The Walking Dead's ratings are not going to recover no matter what changes are made. And I actually do agree with Paul here when he says that. He goes into some reasoning. You guys can read it through if you want to. But personally, I've been saying it for a while now, and I believe it to be the truth. They may prove me wrong in the future, but I really don't think so. And that is that really, as is the case with many hit series, when things become a hit, they reach a peak point, they reach a high point, which for The Walking Dead was between, the end of season 4 roughly to about the start of season 7 was kind of that hot spot for Walking Dead. It probably will never be as popular as it was then, again, unless the series is to end at some point, and then they, a lot of people want to tune in to see the very end of the show. But I think with the show being long running, it's going to go on long enough to where that probably won't be, it probably will never do a 17 again, no matter what they do. Like, I don't care what they cook up, what they cliffhang, what they set up. I would almost guarantee that I do not think the series will ever hit that. Now, can we say that entirely that's because of the changes in the world and technology and the internet and Netflix and streaming and people DVRing and watching stuff later and live viewership? I don't think so. In a year to 2 years, there's a trend, obviously. It's a downward trend overall, and I do agree that that's true, but I don't think it's the number one factor in the change of The Walking Dead to where you look at season 8. It's been a crazy season all throughout, the mid-season premiere and all the stuff that's happened this season. I really, if anything, I do not feel like they've been slacking this season. Like, do you guys think they've been slacking this season on producing a great show? I don't think so. They've been pulling out all the stops. They've been just taking it to another level, doing everything they can, throwing in all the zombies, throwing in tons of action, 50 cal weapons, bringing Morales back, killing Carl off, killing the junkyard off, having Simon and Negan fight to the death. This is an awesome season. and yet the numbers would not reflect that. So I sympathize with them. I feel for them in that no matter what they're trying to do, the tide is just, coming through. It's just the way that things work when things get hot and then eventually not. Like I remember Turtles in the 80s when I was a kid, man. When it was hot, it was everywhere. And then later seasons, they started doing these Red Sky episodes and this other stuff, and it just, no matter what they would do, it wouldn't matter at that point. It's people are moving on to the next thing, right? And with The Walking Dead, unfortunately, that will happen too. But at the same time, I think The Walking Dead is such high quality that you can still have that loyal hardcore fan base. You can still have that loyal fan base of people who really love The Walking Dead, who are going to watch it and are going to check it out, and that it can get into the teens of seasons. And I think it will. This is not a doom and gloom video here where I'm predicting that The Walking Dead is going to end next year because the ratings are going to fall to 2 and then they're going to cancel it or something. No, I don't see that happening either. But I'm just saying that I think it's not their fault, and I don't believe it's also a trend, television wide. I believe it is the best way to explain it. I've done the top 7s. We've discussed it like crazy for all these months and everything. The best way to understand it, my opinion, is that it's a phenomenon type series. It became a worldwide hit, around season 4, season 5. Everybody was watching Walking Dead, water cooler talk, everything like that. It hit a high point. It hit a fever pitch. It hit a white hot level of just, popularity. And then, of course, there's no other way to, when you're that high, you can't push it any higher. Eventually, things are going to taper off. They're going to start to come back down. And it works that way with just about any series that gets hot, any kind of phenomenon series like Survivor, or like I mentioned, Turtles for kids in the 80s, and, maybe, I don't know, X-Men, Batman the Animated Series, what other shows? American Idol when it first started. Just any of these really, Game of Thrones, which is going to be wrapping up soon. But if they had it going on forever, eventually the same thing would happen to GOT even. So those are my thoughts. So everybody's entitled to their opinion. That's what I think. That's the best explanation I think there is for it. And as Paul's saying here too, and I agree with him 100%, no matter what they do, short of maybe killing Rick off, and even that probably wouldn't put it at 17 million, except for ending the series, in a bunch of years here. No matter what they do, I really highly doubt it will ever get back to maybe even 14 or 15. I really have a hard time seeing it get even there. So leave a comment below with regards to that one, guys. Let me know what you think about that. Do you think that makes sense? Their explanation makes sense? Do you like my explanation? What's your explanation for it? How do you look at these, these results for the series, and how do you interpret them? Do you just think, hey, season 8 sucks. No matter what they try to do, everything they try to do, still Negan's got to die. They got to move on, and then season 9 things will do better. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment below about this topic, and I don't think there's really any right or wrong. This is kind of speculation and opinion on our part. So be sure to leave an opinion and let me know what you guys think about the falling ratings, and the ratings that continuing really as a trend to fall to season 2 lows, that kind of deal. Maybe even season 1 lows pretty soon in the next year or two. Some of the questions for today that you guys sent through. We'll do a few. Rebecca says the all-out war is coming to an epic finale, but whether you're Team Rick or Team Negan, you'll need to survive through the end of season 8. Which team are we on going through for the finale here? Is there anybody who's still rooting for Negan's, the Savior's team, or is everybody rooting for Rick? I mean, for me personally, I did have some fun. I did some videos where I kind of Trigan thing, and did the Lucille skits and things like that I did. I am a huge fan of Negan. I still don't want to see him win though, because if Negan won here, it'd just be Rick and the survivors have to win. There's no way Negan can win this battle after all the setup and everything they've gone through. You want to see falling ratings. Have Negan win the war, and then you will see some falling ratings. Rick and the others have to win now. So I'm definitely Team Rick and the survivors. I'm not Team Negan anymore. But I find Negan to be super entertaining. Not that I always agree with the things that he does, but I just think he's super entertaining. Even look at last week's episode. He doesn't just Lucille Simon or kill him off with a gunshot or something, as you might think. He actually gives Simon a chance. He's like, okay. And this is how much I love Negan. Negan's saying basically, if you can beat me one-on-one, nobody interfering, then hey, it's yours. You got it. The saviors are yours if you can beat him. and he couldn't. So that was sick, man, and that's how awesome Negan is. So I find myself rooting for Negan, love seeing Negan, but I mean, really, you got to go with the survivors here in the end. I think everybody pretty much has to, right? Except for Eugene, right? So Kyle Alexson says, was it confirmed before this episode that Simon was the one that killed the men at the Oceanside? I know it was discussed, but this was the first time I can remember it being mentioned. Well, it's something we've theorized about based on what Negan has said to him about backsliding and some of the other things that have happened with him annihilating the Junkyard Group as well, too. We're really seeing that Simon is pretty brutal, and it's been hinted at. I think in episode 15, it's basically confirmed that that's what he did, and Simon was responsible for that. Negan was keeping a close eye on him, so enemies closer type of deal, had him as his right-hand man, because I think he wanted to kind of control him, and he would be scared of him otherwise. He wouldn't know what to do with him. And finally, with All-Out War, things finally came crashing to a head between Negan and Simon, and went down with the battle to the death, and Negan winning. So really cool stuff. And, that was awesome, man. A lot of people saying like it paralleled 18 Miles Out with Shane versus Rick, except on the bad guys team now with Simon versus Nick. That was brilliant, man. I love that. That fight was awesome. I still got to watch it back one of these nights after I'm done making these videos with you guys. Mr. Black96 says, didn't Trev at one point have over 300,000 subscribers? So no, I never had 300. This is the highest the channel's ever had right now. So thank you guys very much for that. Almost at 230,000. Not really growing anymore with regards to the channel and the subscriber number, but really, I just appreciate all you guys for continuing to support the channel. I appreciate you for being here. I appreciate you for sending questions through. And, you guys keep it going. You guys give me a reason to do this every day. I feel accountable to you guys. And, that's why I produce, as much as I can, 300 or 400, 500 videos a year, whatever it ends up being. Doing the best I can for you guys every year. And I'm going to continue to right on do so. And if it never gets to 300, okay, it never gets to 300. That's cool. That's fine. Because it's not all about that. Really, it's about us having a good time. And, that's really what we're here for. Me included. I have so much fun doing this with you guys. It's awesome. Larry Tapia says, do you think we'll see Heath in the finale? We should see Heath in the finale, right? This is the final episode of the season. They said he was coming back. This is it. He's got to be, process of elimination. He's not in episodes 1 through 15. They said he's coming back and there's one episode left. There it is. Like, unless they lied, he's got to be in this episode. He just has to be, right? So heads up for that, guys. Keep an eye out. Look for a dude that could be wearing, a whisperer mask with dreads, right? That's the one you got to watch for, right? African-American, obviously, and maybe glasses. Well, no, you really need the glasses, though. Yeah, I don't know. T. Gilly says, more pointless flashbacks, hallucinations, taking up time from the plot. Yay! After the pictures video yesterday. If you guys didn't see it, I did a video showing the preview pictures for the finale. There's one with Rick and Carl walking, and he's holding his hand and everything. And, bro, Gilly, man, I don't know what you're saying. Like, I can't wait to see that. I mean, okay, I know it's a flashback. It's not current. But, bro, I mean, that's emotionally powerful. How can you, reject that in any way? I don't know how you can reject that. It's like getting to see Carl and Rick before the zombie apocalypse, even if they're just walking, to a farm or something, or walking down a dirt road. I mean, that's beautiful stuff. And Greg Nicotero does an awesome job of that. I don't know how you couldn't want to see that. For me, I can't wait to see that. So, yeah, man, I don't know. To each their own, right? To each their own is what it is. But I can't wait to see it. I'm just saying. Last one will be from Ross Schinberg, who says, why do you think Jesus has had virtually 0 lines and screen time in Season 8B? I just think that they had so much other stuff going on. They had so many characters. They really used Simon a lot, and they really kind of put him to the forefront in this half because this is last half. I think that's probably why. Jesus has probably got lots of time coming in the series. I'm not going to call him our Glenn 2.0, but he's got a lot of qualities that kind of will fill that kind of void. Not well, because Glenn really had a lot of heart, and so far he hasn't been able to put that same kind of heart into the series with that charisma that Glenn had. But in the future, he'll have lots of stuff coming up, so it's just a matter of time before we get there. And I just think there was so much other stuff going on that really he just got kind of, Morgan's crossing over, and you have Simon and Negan and Jadis and Rick and, oh my God, Carl being killed. So there was just so much other stuff that it wasn't his season. He's there, but it's not his season, right? So sometimes barely there, right? So that's it. There's nothing you can do about it. And that'll be it for today's video, guys. Keep sending me questions, though, because if you want to see another one tomorrow or you want to see another one Saturday, Sunday, I need stuff to talk about, so you guys got to send me the questions to do those videos. If you like this video, please keep supporting the channel. Subscribe if you're new. Join the 230,000. Thumb up the video, and thank you guys for all your support all throughout Season 8, and going to keep right on going, keep right on doing our thing. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you again soon for another. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. See you guys tomorrow.